Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the India InsurTech Podcast. My name is Prashant, and today we have with us Mayank from Even Healthcare. Uh, from what I understand, Mayank, Even wants to build out India's best health cover, and you're through insurance and healthcare management. Is that correct? And I'd like to get a quick introduction about you.
First of all, Prashant, thank you so much for inviting me. I've actually listened to a few of these, and no, it's kind of cool to be on it. And even we are essentially trying to build a healthcare provider that has a completely different business model to existing healthcare providers, and actually has one aligned with maybe what insurance companies do. So I think in the super long term, we think something like Kaiser Permanente in the US is the holy grail, right? Everyone's been wanting to build it for a while. We think we are taking the first steps to thinking, what would Kaiser look like if it was started today here in India? And how do you completely change the way that health insurance as a sector works?
That's interesting. Okay. I'd like to understand, but what do you think would be the result of Even's presence in the Indian market? What problems are you looking to solve in space?
No, yeah, really good question. I think there is the macro problem of like, why do we exist? Why is this something that I want to spend 20, 25 years of my life on? And I think the way I think about it and we think about it is on one hand, you have a pool of money that is available to pay for healthcare, right? And that pool
Correct.
can be made up of government insurance, private insurance, out of pocket expenditure, whatever. And then you have another pool of future healthcare costs, right? And unfortunately, like it or not, this pool of future healthcare costs is a lot bigger than this pool on the left, right? Of actual money available to pay for things. And so you're stuck in this situation where you either say, hey, I'm going to create new money from somewhere. And I don't think that's very plausible. Or you say, I'm going to find a way to cut down those future healthcare costs, right? Now, if I look at the market right now, insurers have an incentive to do that because in some ways they're the ones liable to pay these future healthcare costs, but very few of them see themselves as clinical organizations, right? If I'm a
Correct.
large insurer, I probably, outside of maybe the claims management team or the underwriting team, I don't have any doctors on staff, right? I am a financial institution. Whereas if I'm a healthcare provider, my business model is a bet that those future healthcare costs are as big as possible. I kind of am hoping that actually those costs continue to go up because actually under a fee for service model, every time I deliver a service, I'm going to make some money. Our approach is to say, can you build a organization that very much sees itself as a clinical organization first, but has the same business model as insurers? And so our bet is
Okay.
how do you use clinical input to cut down future insurance premiums? And again, that kind of you mentioned at the start, we see ourselves as a healthcare management organization. HMO, which have been popular in other places, Kaiser is probably the best example. And that is overall what we're trying to do. How do you cut down future healthcare costs so actually everyone in this country, regardless of financial background, is able to pay for and get access to healthcare when they need it? More specifically, what we're doing right now is we think the real opportunity is in OPD, right? It
Interesting.
is
Okay.
something it is something that more and more people in the market are demanding. It is something that traditionally existing insurers, the industry's just really struggled to price it, right? You either do a
Correct.
great product with what often is a pretty terrible loss ratio,
That
and everyone discontinues it after a year or two, or you do a product that even the people selling it know is not the best possible product. It might be 10K sum
yeah.
insured for 8K as a price, and turns
Right.
out no one buys it. We think you can do a gap in the middle where actually you can solve for OPD fraud, point one. You can solve for OPD over prescription. And in the long run, OPD saves you IPD costs. And effectively, what we're offering right now as a market, the key differentiator of Even is we work with partner insurers to create an OPD product that seems too good to be true. And our team of doctors And our membership covers access to our team of doctors, access to
Okay.
amazing OPD cover, as well as access to kind of really great IPD cover with our partner insurers. But really, our bet is how do you cut down costs by internalizing them and having a different incentive system for your own doctors?
Very interesting. And so this obviously seems like a substantial risk yourself, right? For taking it yourself. How would you try to take on this kind of a substantial risk, and how does the clinical team help here?
No, really good question. So I think we think about ourselves as not we take on the medical legal risk. So we have full-time doctors. They are very much, part of Even. They are the core of Even. Something like I think maybe 20% of the entire team are doctors, and their job is to serve the interests of our members, right? Now, the way our model works is we act as a first touch point. So it's almost like like family doctors, right?
Correct. Correct.
A lot of people have family doctors. It's in the UK. You have the concept of a general physician, GP, and so that you go to them first, and then they decide whether to refer you out to external doctors, external labs, external diagnostics. But really, we end up being the first port of call for our members. And again, this is coming back to what would Kaiser look like if it was built today. We find that actually having an amazing team of doctors that are dedicated to you, that know your family history and background, and are available 24/7.
Maybe I wanted to touch upon a little bit on what do you think about distribution and underwriting, and are you using tech to solve any problems in this area to help even grow?
Yeah. So I think on that front, on the distribution underwriting and I guess our kind of unique approach, right? I think one thing for us is this is a story that everyone likes to tell, right? Everyone has this notion of, hey, you do wellness programs and health outcomes gets better. I think our biggest bet is to do that, you have to take it very seriously. It's not just in
Okay.
a case of kind of outsourcing all the clinical judgment, relying on various telemedicine platforms. Our bet is you need to take this as a serious goal for the company. And actually, if you're able to do that, and if you're able to show that the numbers make sense, you're able to get distribution cracked just by, because if I'm an insurer and you can convince me that you can cut down my claim ratio, of course I want to work with you. I want to distribute you to everyone out there. The problem is everyone comes there with this story and they don't have the numbers. And so we started off by effectively acquiring customers ourselves. And now, after about 18 months, we're able to see that we can drive cost savings on claim ratio of anywhere between 35 and 45%.
Wow. Okay.
Right? Which, yeah, exactly. It's a pretty massive chunk. On the underwriting side, in terms of initial entry, we have found that our model actually works almost regardless of where a partner insurer might draw the underwriting guidelines, right? If anything, it actually works better on portfolios that are a little bit more unhealthy. Because
Okay.
if I'm a diabetic who's like 45, 50 years old, a doctor can make a significant impact in terms of how my disease progresses. For
That's
someone like
correct.
me or you, Prashant, realistically, there's not a huge amount of impact that a super young person like you can say other than, hey, eat healthier, quit smoking, drink less, right?
Right.
So yeah, we found that I guess it's already starting to have an impact, and now that means that insurers seem to want to work with us, which is excellent, and it seems to apply in the areas where arguably insurers seem to lose the most money as well.
Yeah. No, that's a great problem to go after, I think, and requires a solution. It does require a solution in the Indian market. And thanks so much for your time today. This brings us to the end of the podcast with Mayank, and I'd like to thank you, Mayank, from the India InsurTech Association.
Thanks so much, and thanks so much for inviting me. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Mayank.